This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
The Hidden Killers Podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
You know, it's a case that I'm really surprised we don't hear more about in the States. I'm talking about the case against Lucy Letby, otherwise known as the Nurse of Death, and the allegations against her with all the babies that died underneath her care. It is a shocking story, and we've been following it for you here on this channel and on our specific channel dedicated to it called Nurse of Death, the Lucy Letby story. Let's go and get the latest on what's been happening in Manchester and the courtroom there, and find out how things have continued to develop in this very sad and shocking story.
In the hallowed halls of Manchester Crown Court, neonatal nurse Lucy Letby stood accused of heinous crimes that shook the foundations of trust in the medical profession. As details emerged, it became clear that the alleged baby killer had been forcibly removed from her frontline work with babies and transferred to a patient risk and safety unit, following concerns raised by pediatric consultants at the Countess of Chester Hospital. The unit manager sent a carefully worded email describing Letby's acceptance of a 3-month secondment as an opportunity. Letby, however, was anything but pleased, lodging a formal grievance against the hospital. The decision to remove her from the neonatal unit came in July 2016 after an internal review by senior consultant Stephen Bryan revealed that Letby was usually present during the deaths or near-fatal collapses of the infants. The tension in the courtroom was palpable as the jury reviewed WhatsApp and Facebook exchanges between Letby and her colleagues, including a male registrar with whom she allegedly flirted. The correspondence revealed the frustration and confusion that Letby felt regarding her removal from the unit and the hospital management's handling of the situation. Initially describing the investigation as a bit of a worry, her distress grew as she confided in her doctor friend that her head is a mess, after being told not to come in for her shift. Letby's anger only intensified as the rumour mill at the hospital went into overdrive. Her ordeal finally culminated in her arrest on July 3, 2018. The once respected nurse now faces charges of murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder a further 10, all of which she vehemently denies. The courtroom listened intently as it was revealed that Letby's removal from the unit was a 2-stage process. First, a period of clinical supervision was enforced, followed by the secondment to the Risk and Patient Safety Office. Unit manager Arian Lloyd Powell emphasized that this was not meant to be a blame or a competency issue, but rather a measure to ensure a safe environment for both the infants and the staff. In the midst of the WhatsApp and Facebook messages, Letby speculated about an air embolism as the cause of one baby's death, the same mechanism the prosecution claims she used on some of her alleged victims. The jury heard that in a police interview, Letby denied deliberately leaving baby Q unattended so that colleagues could be blamed for the child's subsequent collapse. She offered an explanation for air in the baby's stomach, suggesting that infants sometimes gulp air when they vomit, a notion medical experts have deemed impossible. As the trial delved deeper into the evidence, the registrar offered words of reassurance to Letby, saying she had nothing to be worried about. He even forwarded her a confidential email in which he was asked to prepare a statement for an inquest into one of the recent deaths. Throughout the exchanges, Letby maintained her innocence, growing increasingly frustrated with the hospital's actions and the impact on her career. With emotions running high and the weight of the accusations bearing down, the trial is set to resume on April 17. As the courtroom prepares for the next chapter of this chilling case, the question remains, did Lucy Letby, a once trusted and respected neonatal nurse, commit the unthinkable? The answer lies hidden within the tangled web of evidence and emotion, waiting to be unraveled in the pursuit of truth and justice.
This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
The Hidden Killers Podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
And I'm going to note that this week we're going to try and get you as caught up as we can on this case here on the podcast. So be sure to be following, subscribing, wherever you may be, as that case continues to unfold. And we continue to just shake our heads going, how, and why? My name's Tony Bruschi. You can follow me on Twitter at TonyBPod. Stay with us.